I was on the delivery table, being cut open for a C-section, and my husband turned the most painful expression on my face into a meme, sending it to 6 different group chats for everyone to laugh at. They laughed at me, humiliated me, even touched my baby, and said it was just a joke. I didn't cry, didn't beg. I kept the evidence, called the police, hired a lawyer, and left with my child. I lay on the delivery table, my stomach sliced open. When the baby was taken out, I heard the cry, small, like a kitten. The anesthesia made my brain feel like mush. I couldn't open my eyes, but I heard Ryan's voice. Get a clear shot. Yeah, the face. I thought he was capturing the moment my baby was born. I thought he was taking our first family photo. I tried to open my eyes to see the baby. Then I heard the camera click. Snap, snap, snap. Fast, urgent. Not like photographing a newborn. Like he was photographing something ridiculous. Haha, this one's perfect, Ryan whispered, laughing. The expression is priceless. Another man's voice. One of his friends. Posted in the group. New Year red envelopes need pics. Wait, I'll make a GIF version. My fingers twitched. I tried to move my hand, but my arms were pinned. The anesthesia hadn't worn off. I couldn't move, but I could hear every word, the vibration of phones. 1 message, 2 messages, dozens. Holy crap, that face. Ryan, you're a legend. Even while your wife's giving birth, you're helping your bros. Saved it. This is the holiday greeting this year. Laughter. So much laughter, leaking out of speakers and drilling into my ears. One woman's laugh was particularly sharp. I recognized it. Jessica, Ryan's bestie. Ryan, this video is savage, but I love it. Haha, Ryan laughed. She's already had the baby. What else can she do? She doesn't even know. The doctor said. The patient needs quiet. Ryan responded lazily. Got it. Their voices moved a little farther away, but didn't stop. Still laughing. Still sending messages. Pain shot through my abdomen. The anesthesia was fading. The stitches felt like they were on fire. Painful, but sharper than the pain was the laughter. The laughter that treated my agony as a joke. My hand slowly found my stomach. Through the gauze, I could feel the raised stitches. 1 stitch. Another. And another. I counted in my mind. First stitch, Ryan recording. Second stitch, he sends it to the group. Third stitch, Jessica likes it. Fourth stitch, everyone laughing. Eyes closed. Breathing shallow. They think I'm asleep, but I'm keeping track. Every single detail. The room is quiet. The baby sleeps in a small crib beside me. Wrinkled little face. Tiny breaths. The door opens. High heels clack loudly. Jessica's laugh is louder than the heels. Hey, you're awake. Congratulations. I open my eyes. She's at the bedside. Phone in hand. Smiling sweetly. Ryan stands beside her, holding a fruit basket. Eyes on his phone. Not me. What a cute baby. Jessica leans toward the crib, reaching for the baby's face. I croak. Voice hoarse and alien to me. Wash your hands. She freezes. Ryan looks up. Emma, Jessica just wants to see you. I ignore him. Looking at Jessica. Hospital rules, you have to sanitize before touching a newborn. Jessica pouts and withdraws her hand. Then she lifts her phone. Oh, by the way, check this out. It's hilarious. She plays a video. My face on the screen. Fresh out of anesthesia. Twisted in pain. Eyes half open. Lips chapped. Hair stuck to my forehead with sweat. In the video, I moan softly, but audibly. Then the video speeds up. My face twitching. Comedic music plays over it. Ha ha ha. Ryan made this. Genius. Right? Jessica laughs hysterically. The baby wakes up, crying loudly. I reach to pat the baby's back. Eyes fixed on Jessica. Delete it. Jessica is still laughing. What? Delete the video, I say. Word by word. Ryan frowns. Emma, don't overreact. It's just a joke. Jessica suddenly gasps. Swipes on the screen. The video blasts at full volume. My screams explode from the phone, echoing in the quiet room. The baby cries even louder. My abdomen cramps violently. The wound feels like it's about to split. Jessica frantically hits pause. Oops. Sorry. Slipped. But her lips are still smiling. Ryan takes the phone. Enough. Stop it. Emma just had a baby, her emotions are unstable. Jessica leans closer to Ryan, fingers swiping on the screen. Look at the group. Everyone says it's funny. Mr. Zhang even sent a red envelope. Thanked Ryan for the material. I see the screen clearly. It's not just one group. It's many. Chat log scrolling. One avatar after another. One haha after another. I'm saving this meme. Perfect for roasting someone. Ryan's wife usually looks so proper. Didn't expect childbirth to be this hilarious. Forwarded to my family group. Mom asked who this woman is. I said Ryan's wife. Mom said, "Oh, poor thing." Died laughing. I clench the blanket. The fabric wrinkles in my hand. Ryan. I call his name. He looks up. A smirk still lingering. Yeah? How many people got the video? Just a few friend groups. He shrugs. Just for fun. How many groups? 5 or 6. I guess. What's the big deal? Jessica chimes in. Emma, you're not mad, are you? We're all friends. Just a joke. I looked at Ryan. Without my consent. You filmed my painful expressions during a medical procedure, made them into memes, and sent them to at least 6 groups. How many people are in those groups? Ryan froze. Jessica stopped laughing too. I slowly repeated the question, how far did it spread? The total number of people in the groups, tell me. Ryan's expression changed. From indifferent to impatient. Emma, are you done? Giving birth doesn't have to make you so dramatic. I stayed silent, staring at him. Jessica linked her arm through Ryan's. Ryan, she might be experiencing postpartum depression. I've heard women right after giving birth can be like that, emotional, overthinking everything. Then she turned to me, her tone falsely sweet. Emma, don't worry so much. We care about you. The video's funny, but there's no malice. My gaze fell on the baby. The baby had stopped crying, eyes wide open, looking at me. Ryan, I called again. What? Where were you when I was giving birth? I was waiting outside. Were you in the delivery room when the baby was born? He stammered. Jessica jumped in. Ryan was outside taking a call. It was important. Company stuff. I nodded. So you weren't there when the baby was born. The precious moment you claimed to capture? All you filmed was my pain. Ryan's face turned red. So what? I work to support the family. And I can't take a call? Emma, don't go overboard. Suddenly, Jessica stepped forward, shoving my shoulder. Enough. Ryan's been more than good to you. Do you know how many social events he skipped just to be here for the birth? Pain shot through my wound. My vision went black for a moment, but I sat upright, eyes locked on Jessica's hand. You touched me, Jessica sneered. So what if I did? You gonna hit me? She shoved again. Stronger this time. Ripping pain shot through my abdomen. Looking down, blood had seeped through the hospital gown. Red, slowly spreading. Jessica stepped back. Ryan saw it too, but he didn't move. He just frowned. Emma, can you stop? If your wound splits, it'll make more work for the nurses. Other patients and their families in the room were watching now. People whispered to each other. A nurse hurried in. What's going on? Patients can't get agitated. Jessica immediately put on a victim face. Nurse, we didn't do anything. I didn't let her finish. Looking at the nurse, I said clearly, please call the police. The room went silent. Even the baby's cries stopped. Ryan's eyes went wide. Emma, are you crazy? I ignored him, repeating to the nurse, please call the police. Someone filmed and distributed my private video without my consent and just physically attacked me, causing my C-section wound to tear. The nurse hesitated, looking at Ryan. Ryan grabbed her arm. Don't listen to her. She's postpartum. Her emotions are unstable. I grabbed the call button by the bed and pressed it. This is room 703. I need to call the police. Also, please get a doctor to treat my torn wound. The speaker crackled back. Copy. On our way. Jessica panicked. Ryan, she's actually calling the police? Ryan shoved the nurse away and lunged at the bed. Emma, put the phone down. Are you trying to embarrass me? He tried to grab the call button. I blocked him with my body, my other hand protecting the baby in the crib. Don't touch the baby. My voice was ice cold. Ryan's hand froze midair. The door burst open. 2 doctors and 3 nurses rushed in. The lead doctor saw the blood on my abdomen, face darkening. What happened? I pointed at Jessica. She pushed me, Jessica screamed. I didn't. She did this to herself. The doctor ignored her. Prepare for wound care. Family. Step out. Ryan didn't move. I'm her husband. The doctor glared at him. So as a husband, you let your wife's wound tear? Out. 2 male nurses stepped forward and pushed Ryan and Jessica out. Ryan struggled. Emma, just wait. The door shut. The doctor treated my wound. 2 stitches had split, blood and flesh messy. It hurt, but I didn't make a sound. Keep calm. If it splits again, it'll be serious, the doctor said. I nodded. Thank you. After finishing, the doctors gave some instructions and left. The room was left with just me and the baby. I turned to look at her small face. She was asleep, breathing steady. I reached out, gently touching her hand. Her tiny fingers twitched and gripped my index finger. So small, so warm. The door opened again. This time it wasn't doctors or nurses. It was Ryan's friends. 3 men, laughing and joking as they entered. Congrats, Emma. Heard you had the baby. Ryan said we should come see the baby. Wow, what a little cutie. They gathered around the crib. One reached to touch the baby's face. I stopped him. Did you wash your hands? He sheepishly withdrew. She's careful. Another pulled out a phone. Take a pic. Post it in the group. Yeah, let everyone see Ryan's little girl. They raised their phones, snapping photos. The baby woke up from the flash, crying. I sat up. Stop taking pictures. They didn't. The door opened again. Jessica slipped in, Ryan following behind. Jessica leaned over the crib, smiling. Oh, the baby's crying? Did she pee? Let me check. She reached in and unwrapped the baby. The baby's body was exposed. The men's eyes changed. One whistled. Nice. Ryan, your daughter's gonna be a real beauty. Jessica's fingers brushed the baby's skin. Such soft skin. Blood boiled in my head. I pulled out the 4 needle from my hand and threw off the blanket. Getting out of bed. Pain tore through my wound. I staggered but stayed upright. I stepped in front of the crib, shielding the baby with my body. Get out. Everyone froze. Ryan was the first to react. Emma, what are you doing? I looked at Jessica. Take your hand off. Jessica glared at me, taunting. I'm just checking on the baby. Emma, you're way too sensitive. She reached out again. I grabbed her hand. Then, I bit down, hard. Jessica's scream sounded like a pig being slaughtered. Blood seeped between my teeth. The men were stunned. Ryan lunged at me. Emma, you're crazy. Let go. I didn't. Not until Jessica punched my head with her other hand did I release her. My mouth was full of blood. Jessica clutched her hand. There was a deep bite mark. Bleeding. Ah, I'm bleeding. I need a rabies shot. She cried. The nurse rushed in again. This time, the situation was completely out of control. Jessica was crying. Ryan was yelling at me. The friends were trying to calm things down. The baby was crying. The head nurse barked. Everyone quiet. This is a hospital. Everyone shut up. The head nurse looked at me. Your wound tore again. I looked down. The hospital gown was stained red again, but I didn't feel the pain. I pointed at Jessica. She touched my baby without my consent. I acted in self-defense. I pointed at Ryan and his friends. They filmed and distributed my private video without my consent, and just now tried to film my baby. I pointed at everyone. I want to call the police. Ryan finally realized I wasn't joking. His face changed. Emma, you're really going to call the police? I looked at him. Do you think I'm joking? We're married. Your privacy is my privacy. You know. Marital sharing. Jessica hid behind Ryan. Ryan. She's terrifying. She bit me. I'm reporting her for assault. I smiled. Fine. We'll all report each other. I'll report you for privacy invasion, distributing obscene content, and assault. You report me for self-defense. The head nurse understood immediately and turned to her assistant. Call the police. Get security up here too. 20 minutes later, the police arrived. Statements were recorded, evidence collected. I handed over screenshots of the group chats. The nurse helped me photograph them with her phone. Photos of my wound. Photos of the baby's unwrapped swaddle. The nurse confirmed she could testify. The police made notes but said that since it involved a married couple and no serious injury occurred, they suggested mediation. Ryan immediately said, "Mediation. Mediation. We'll accept mediation." I looked at the police. "I demand he delete all videos and photos, publicly apologize in all groups, and promise not to repeat this." Ryan gritted his teeth. "Fine," the police said. "Then negotiate and sign a mediation agreement." The mediation agreement was signed. The police left. Ryan glared at me, slammed the door, and left. Jessica followed him out. The other friends slipped away. Finally, the room was quiet. The nurse rebandaged my wound, sighing, "You're too reckless. If it keeps tearing, it will leave scars." I said, "Thank you." That night, I lay in bed, unable to sleep. The baby slept soundly in the crib beside me. I picked up my phone and opened the cloud backup. I had already obtained the delivery room surveillance through a hospital contact. The nurse was willing to testify about the conflict. All group chat screenshots were saved. The mediation agreement was photographed. All the evidence was organized into a folder, encrypted and uploaded. Then I made a phone call. "Dad, it's me. I had the baby. It's a girl." "Yes, I'm fine, but I need a lawyer." "Right, we need one now." A week later, I was discharged. Ryan didn't pick me up. I called a car myself, taking the baby to a postpartum care center. The best center. A top-floor suite, 24/7 one-on-one care from a nurse, paid with my own card. Ryan didn't know I had this card. 3 years of marriage. I'd never touched my family's money. But now, it was time. At the center, I focused on recovering. My wound was healing. Milk supply abundant. The baby grew plump and fair, with big eyes, like mine. Ryan called once. "Where are you? Why aren't you home?" "Postpartum center." "Which one?" "I'll come get you." "No need, Emma. Stop being stubborn." I deleted the videos, apologized in the groups. "What else do you want?" I said nothing. "And the baby? I want to see her. When you learn to respect me, then you can see her." I hung up. Then I blocked him on all contact. On the 20th day at the center, I received documents from my lawyer. Divorce agreement. Terms were simple. Ryan leaves with nothing. All marital property is mine. I have custody of the baby. Ryan has visitation once a month, but only with my consent. The lawyer asked, "Do you want to send it to him now?" I said, "Not yet." 10 more days passed. My body had mostly recovered. The lawyer said, "Ryan's been looking for you. He caused a scene at the hospital, but the nurses said you'd already been discharged. He went to your home but couldn't get in. I changed the locks." I said, "Kick him out of my house. He still has things inside. Throw them away. He wants to see you. Let him come to the postpartum center." The next day, Ryan came. His shirt was wrinkled, dark circles under his eyes, looking disheveled. The first thing he said was, "Emma, are you done making a scene?" I ignored him and handed him a folder. "What's this?" "The divorce agreement." He froze. Then he laughed. "Emma, you're serious? Sign it." He opened the agreement. When he saw the words "leaves with nothing," the smile vanished. "You're dreaming." He tore the agreement. Shredded pieces hit my face. "I'm telling you, Emma, if you want a divorce, fine. The baby's mine, and we split everything. Otherwise, forget it." I looked at him, speaking slowly. "Have you ever taken care of her for a single day? As for property, you know how much of your income came from my father's connections and resources." Ryan's face went pale. "Don't think you're special just because of your dad. I'm not someone to mess with either." "I know." I nodded. "That's exactly why I'm divorcing you." He stared at me for a long moment, then suddenly turned and left. The door slammed hard. I picked up the shredded papers from the floor and tossed them in the trash. Then I said to my lawyer, "Send him the second copy. Tell him if he doesn't sign within 3 days, we'll see him in court." Ryan didn't sign. He texted me, unless I paid him $50,000 as a breakup fee, he would never agree to a divorce. I didn't reply. 3 days later, I boarded a flight to California, first class. with a dedicated bassinet for the baby. The flight attendants were attentive. 10 hours later, the plane landed. Outside the airport, a car was waiting, a black Bentley. The driver opened the door respectfully. "Miss, the master is waiting for you." The car drove into a hillside villa community and stopped in front of a white mansion. The butler was at the door, taking the baby. My dad came out of the house. 3 years had passed. His hair was gray, but he looked strong and alert. "Back?" "Yeah." "And the baby?" "Sleeping." He nodded and led me inside. In the living room, my mom was there too. Her eyes were red. She hugged me, then went to check on the baby. "She looks like you," she said. At dinner, my dad spoke. "What are you going to do?" "Divorce," I said. "Fast." "He won't agree." "He will." My dad looked at me and smiled. 3 years, finally figured it out? I said nothing. 3 years ago, I insisted on marrying Ryan. My dad opposed it, saying Ryan was untrustworthy. I argued with him, called him biased. In the end, my dad compromised, giving me a sum of money to live independently. But he also said, "If you ever want to come back, you always can." Now, I had returned. The next day, my dad took me to the company, Ever Group headquarters, a 38-story skyscraper. At the board meeting, my dad announced he was stepping down as CEO, and I would take over. No one objected, because I was the sole heir. After the meeting, my dad called me into his office. "Ryan's company has been surviving these years on our orders. I've already halted all cooperation." I nodded. "I also notified the banks regarding his loans." I nodded again. "Now, what does he have left?" I thought for a moment. An empty shell of a company, a pile of debt, and a group of so-called friends. My dad smiled. "Then let him see, without you. What does he really have?" The divorce proceedings began. Ryan hired lawyers, demanding a division of assets and custody of the child. My legal team had 5 members, led by Mr. Chin, one of the top divorce lawyers in the country. At the first hearing, Ryan stormed in, full of bravado. He froze when he saw me sitting in the plaintiff's seat, surrounded by 5 lawyers. But he quickly raised his chin. The judge asked questions. Ryan's lawyer argued that I had no income after marriage. The household expenses were all covered by Ryan, so I wasn't entitled to much. They also claimed I had taken the baby without consent, restricting his visitation, so I was unfit for custody. Mr. Chin stood and handed over a document. "Your Honor, this is a detailed list of marital assets. In fact, 80% of Mr. Ryan's company revenue over the past 3 years came from orders secured through Ever Group, orders facilitated by my client's family connections." Ryan's face changed. Additionally, a significant portion of Mr. Ryan's so-called personal income was directly transferred from company accounts to private accounts, potentially tax evasion. "We have reported this to the tax authorities." Ryan stood. "That's nonsense." The judge hammered his gavel. "Quiet." Mr. Chin continued, regarding custody. "We have evidence showing Mr. Ryan lacked basic care for the newborn, and during the wife's hospitalization post-delivery, he colluded with others to humiliate and harm her. He played the videos, the delivery room meme, the hospital room confrontation, the group chat records." Ryan's face went from red to white. The judge watched in silence for a long moment, then asked Ryan, "What do you have to say?" Ryan stammered. It was just a joke, between spouses." "Jokes, a joke?" The judge frowned. "You think that's a joke?" Adjourned. A week later, the second hearing. This time, Mr. Chin brought a new witness. A man named Julian Shaw, sharply dressed, cold demeanor. He testified that Jessica had been his fiancée. 3 years ago, she had tried to poison him to make it look like he drowned after drinking. The attempt was discovered, but Jessica destroyed the evidence, and Julian didn't report it to the police. "Recently, I found new evidence," Julian said, "including records of her purchasing drugs and chat records with accomplices. She's now under investigation for attempted murder." The judge was shocked. Ryan was shocked too. Mr. Chin continued. "Mr. Ryan, at the time, was friends with Jessica. He knew and helped her destroy some of the evidence. These are their chat records." New evidence was submitted. Ryan slumped in his chair. Defeated, the judge adjourned, waiting for the criminal investigation results. Outside the courtroom, Julian stopped me. "Miss Emma." I turned. "Thank you for agreeing to testify," he said. "I should thank you," I replied. "Without you, Jessica's crime might never have been proven." He nodded and handed me a business card. "If you need anything, contact me anytime." I took it. He walked away, paused after a few steps, and turned back. "By the way, congratulations on becoming a mom." I froze for a moment. He smiled slightly and left. Ryan was detained for aiding and destroying evidence. His company was seized by the tax authorities. Accounts in chaos. Banks were demanding loan repayment. Partners all terminated contracts. Friends? None could be reached. In jail, he demanded to see me. I went. Through the glass. He was scruffy, with deep eye circles, looking 10 years older. "Emma, get me out." I said nothing. I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. I deleted the videos. I won't do it again, just forgive me once. I looked into his eyes. "Ryan, do you remember what you said the day I gave birth?" He froze. "You said, she's already had the baby. What else can she do?" His lips trembled. "Now I ask you," I said slowly, "after everything you've done, what else can you do?" He broke down, crying, pounding on the glass. The guard dragged him away. I got up and left. 3 days later, my lawyer told me Ryan agreed to sign the divorce. The only condition, I wouldn't pursue criminal charges. I agreed. The day the agreement was signed, he didn't come. His lawyer signed on his behalf. From that moment, Ryan and I had no legal ties. The house was mine, the car's mine, the savings mine, the baby mine. He had nothing. Oh, except for a mountain of debt. On our daughter's 1-month birthday, I held a small celebration at home. Only family and a few close friends were invited. Julian was there too. He gave a set of pure gold zodiac figurines as a red envelope gift for the baby. Halfway through the party, the butler came in. Someone was at the door, wanting to get in. It was Ryan. I told them to let him in. He had lost a lot of weight. His clothes hung loose. His hair was messy. Seeing the room full of people, he hunched his shoulders. Then he saw me, and his eyes lit up. "Emma," I held the baby in my arms. Staying seated. "Something you need?" I want to see the baby." I handed the baby to the nanny and sent her upstairs. Then I walked over to Ryan. "The agreement says visitation requires my consent. I'm her father. Legally, yes." I nodded. "Morally, you're unworthy." His face twisted. "Emma, don't be so extreme. I have nothing left. No company. No money. No friends. What more do you want?" "I want you to remember," I said calmly. "All of this is your choice." He stared at me, tears streaming down his face. I was wrong. I really was wrong. Just give me one chance to see the baby. Just once. I shook my head. "No." "Why?" "Because you don't respect me, the baby, or our marriage," I said slowly, enunciating every word. "You made my most painful moments a joke. Used our daughter as a trophy. Treated our home like a hotel. Now you want a family moment? Too late." He collapsed onto the floor, holding his head, sobbing uncontrollably. The guests watched silently. No one spoke. I turned to the butler. "Show him out." 2 security guards stepped forward, lifted Ryan, and escorted him out. His cries faded into the distance. The party continued. Julian came over, handing me a glass of water. "You okay?" I shook my head. "I'm fine." He looked at me. "You're very strong." I smiled. "Not strong, awake." That night, Ryan came again. This time he didn't make a scene, he just stood outside the villa, lingering until midnight. The security guards asked me what to do. "Call the police. Report harassment," I said. The police arrived and took him away. The next day, I received an email from Ryan. It was long, filled with regret, longing for me and the baby, and promises to make up for it for the rest of his life. The last line read, "Emma, I've always loved you. I just didn't know how to show it." I replied with one sentence. "You didn't not know how to show it, you just didn't know how to respect." Then I permanently blocked his email. A month later, Julian invited me out for dinner. The restaurant was upscale and quiet. Halfway through the meal, he suddenly said, "There's something I need to tell you." "What?" "About Ryan and Jessica. They were actually involved early on, while you were pregnant." I put down my fork. "I know." Julian froze. "You knew?" "At 5 months pregnant. I saw his phone." I said calmly. "Hotel bookings, gifts purchased, and intimate photos. So why didn't I say anything?" I smiled. "Because I was waiting." "Waiting for what?" "Waiting for the baby to be born. Waiting for the right time." I gazed at the night view outside the window. A divorce before the baby, before the right evidence, would have complicated property division, and I needed proof that he's unfit to raise our child. Julian was silent for a long time. Then he said, "So you were enduring all this?" "Not enduring." I corrected him. "Strategizing." He looked at me, expression conflicted. "Emma, you are the most terrifying woman I've ever met." "Thank you for the compliment." We both laughed. 3 months later, Jessica's case concluded. Attempted murder, invasion of privacy, distribution of obscene material, multiple convictions, 12-year sentence. In court, she cried inconsolably, pleading she was sorry. The judge ignored her. Ryan, for aiding and destroying evidence, received 6 months, suspended for a year. On top of that, hefty tax fines he couldn't pay. His house was auctioned. The so-called friends in the group chats, for distributing obscene content, were detained for 15 days, fined, and had criminal records. They collectively sent me letters of apology, begging me not to pursue charges. My lawyer replied with 4 words, "Handled by law." My reputation was completely restored. The media ran a long feature titled, "From Delivery Room Humiliation to Rebirth, Emma's Coldrevenge." Online, many hailed me as a model of female empowerment. A few criticized me as calculating and ruthless. I didn't respond. No need to. I officially took over Evergroup. In the first quarter, performance rose 30%. The board was convinced. My dad retired, spending every day with his granddaughter, grinning ear to ear. At 6 months old, the baby could sit and babble adorably. She looked cute. Eyes like mine. Nose like, never mind, not Ryan's. Julian visited occasionally, quiet, but good with the baby. She loved him and laughed whenever he appeared. One day, he asked me, "Do you still hate Ryan?" I thought for a moment. "No." "Really? Hate is exhausting." I said. "He's history. My life now is good. I don't waste energy on the past." He nodded. That night, as he was leaving, he said, "Emma, if one day you're ready for a new relationship, consider me." I smiled. "I'll think about it." On our daughter's first birthday, I held a party. Many people came. It was lively. Near the end, the butler brought in a gift box. "Miss, someone sent this. No name attached." The box was exquisite. Inside was a gold lock. I looked at it and knew who it was. Ryan. I didn't throw it away. I kept it. A few days later, another package arrived. Toys. A few days after that, clothes. Each time, no name. But I knew. When our daughter turned 2, one day she was playing in the toy room and found the gold lock. She ran to me, holding it. "Mom, this." I took it and placed it on the table. "Someone gave this to you." "Who?" "Someone, not important." She seemed to understand, but didn't ask again. Later, whenever she received an anonymous gift, she would bring it straight to me. "Mom, it's from that person again." I asked, "Do you want to keep it?" She shook her head. "Mom doesn't like it, so I don't want it either." I picked her up and kissed her cheek. Good girl. Our daughter was 3 now, and starting preschool. The company kept growing, and I became a regular in financial magazines. On the covers, they called me the Calm Queen. One day, at a product launch, I stood on stage giving a speech. The audience filled the room. Cameras and flashes went off non-stop. After finishing, I stepped down. Backstage, Julian was waiting, holding a folder. "Another property purchase?" I teased. He smiled. "No, it's a marriage agreement." I froze. He opened the folder. Inside was a real marriage agreement. Simple. Only 2 pages. I had my lawyer draft it. Premarital assets remain separate. Postmarital income is shared. If you want, we can add more clauses. I said nothing. Emma, I know you may not believe in marriage anymore, he said, looking into my eyes. But I want to try. With you. Our daughter ran over and hugged my leg. Mom, Uncle Julian says he wants to take us to Disneyland. I looked down at her. Do you want to go? Yes. I looked up at Julian. His eyes were serious. Give me some time, I said. I'll wait as long as it takes. He replied. After the launch, I went home with the baby. The city lights glittered outside the car window. She leaned against me, asleep. My phone buzzed, a message from Julian. Let me know when you arrive. I replied, okay. Then I leaned back in the seat and closed my eyes. 3 years ago, I thought my life was over. Now, it was just beginning. All the humiliation, betrayal, and pain had become the past. Ahead of me was light. So much light.